Ndinamabanja ndinoteka 12. Ndinoteka 12 ndinekhawa yembekezera. Ndinamabanja ndinoteka 12. Ndinekhawa yembekezera panopo ndiri mimba yemiyezi 9.
Child marriage is a global issue and has devastating consequences all over the world. At least 80 million girls under 18 will be married by 2030. Stopping it isn't easy.
We believe that when we educate just one girl, that one girl can be able to change her community.
And changing cultural practices is even harder. In 2022, Michelle Obama, Amal Clooney and Melinda French Gates came together to announce a collaboration with the aim of ending child marriage. We've been invited to their first field trip together, and they've come to Ludzi Secondary School in Malawi.
When I was your age, there were people in my community that didn't think a girl like me, who didn't have money or wealth or connections, could do the things that I did. I even had my second form teacher tell me that I shouldn't apply to the colleges I applied to because she didn't think I could get in. So I ignored her and I applied to Princeton. I got in and I went to law school and became a lawyer. And I've worked at a university, I've run an NGO, I've done all sorts of things. So I know that there are so many girls like all of us all over the world where people are underestimating them. They're telling us what we can't do, and I refuse.
You know, I see my daughters in those girls. You know, we tend to think that poverty and people who are disadvantaged, that it looks like it has a certain look. It's a corrugated roof. It's a mud hut. It's a place without running water or sewage. But abuse and neglect and underinvestment can happen in some of the shiniest cities in the world.
At the start of 2023, Malawi was hit by one of the deadliest cyclones recorded. More than 500,000 were affected, fueling an already entrenched poverty in the country. Esnet was 14 years old when her house was destroyed by the cyclone.
Ifeti magona munomu mangana bambanga ni chimwenanga magonomo wali magona asiga nokoka.
There's no roof, is there?
Ajambe no kala mtu unabwele mvula ngari ogwa mashawa zindelero.
At 15, Esnet faced the decision of choosing marriage or an education.
Nabizandeka nde kenako basi anabwera kuti azaonekere nde atabwera amayi wanamuvomera pamene alangwa anabwera pamene ndifunsa kuti ukhoza so ku sukulu ndi ndinawuza kuti ine ku sukulu ndimakufuna koma nkhani ndi chani ndi fizi amene angorokhe zimene zoti tani tipanga sinanga ine ku sukulu ndimakufuna koma chifukwa cha fizi ndi basi ndinangoona kuti ndipanga yoncho nanga ndinakarani.
Do you worry that you might be asked to get married again?
Ndimene mavura makhalira panopa. Ndimene malipangisa kuti ndiganize basi. Mayanga mavurika kuti apeze ndrama chani.
These are all your sisters, Esnet?
Esnet is the eldest of 4 girls to a single mum, Chrissy.
Arakumani mamuna mpamazona kuti ine ndendapeza mamuna ndorandira kwatiwe nayo ndinachona chinthu ina kuti amuna iye akakhale pabanja kuti angasiya kungokhala thandizana mavutowa ndiye anapezana kuti kana kuti manena kuti mwina akapena mavuto angapepuke nimafuna zizakwaniritsidwa koma fweso andalamayi zizimakhala.
If we let one thing slip, it all just starts to unravel. In the United States, we're dealing with a rollback in reproductive rights, things that people thought they could take for granted. And a lot of it is because of the devaluation of women, the belief that women don't have choice and power over their own being. That's what's happening here.
Advancing Girls Education Africa is a grassroots organisation that reaches girls across Malawi. Their key aim is to develop access to education as a way to challenge cultural beliefs of child marriage that are often deep-rooted in remote and rural communities. What are the reasons and the causes for child marriage? What are the conditions that lead to girls under the age of 18 getting married?
When you look at our context here in Malawi, the major aspect is poverty, because it could be a family has got so many children and the parents cannot just support them. What do? They force the girls to go get married because they'll be there, they'll be independent, they'll be supported by their husband. But also sometimes they want the husband that have married this daughter to be supporting the family. So it goes round and round and round. So to challenge those traditional and cultural beliefs, it really takes time because it deals with the mind, you know. Also cultural practices, religion practices that really forces young girls to be so much ready by the age of 12 or 13, you know. We believe that when we educate just one girl, that one girl can be able to change her community and her society. By educating a girl, we'll be able to break the cycle of poverty, because this girl, be assured, she'll be able to transform her community. She can educate other more girls. She'll be the role model, and whatever it is that she's getting once she get an education, whether she'll be employed somewhere or she'll be an entrepreneur, definitely she will not be the very same person like the parents were.
I went to visit one of the programmes Age Africa runs in the southern district of Mulanje. Each week, girls here meet to conduct a peer-led class.
So CHATS is an after-school program that empowers young girls in school to have that safe space where they discuss the issues that affects them most.
Some of these issues include teen pregnancy, sexual health and child marriage.
Before you came to this community and before you had these classes, what were your attitudes to early marriage? Had you thought about it before, and how did this class help change your attitudes?
So it has taught me that we should listen to friends with those. Some people come with other ideas that will ruin your life, so you shouldn't take it to mind.
I was thinking that when I'm gonna reach Form 4, I'm going to get married.
So Form 4 is what age?
16. My mind was about to just see what really happened in the marriage. But when I came here, hear some effects of early marriages, then I changed my mind. When a woman is not educated, men take a very good advantage for abusing them. So we just want to be the first generation to change that mindset on men. Yeah, and I just want to have a good family without being beaten, because other women are beaten by their men because they just take them like useless. But I don't want to be a useless woman.
The Neno district in southern Malawi is a remote, rural area where young girls have less readily available access to help. Tamara is 13 years old, but lost both her parents before her 11th birthday and was sent to live with her grandmother. 12 million girls under 18 get married each year globally. Last year, when Tamara was 12, she found out that she was to become one of these girls, as her grandmother had sold her to a man in his 20s.
Ndina mabanya ndini taka 12. Ndini taka 12 ndina kawa mpekedzera. Ndina mabanya ndini taka 12. Ndina kawa mpekedzera. Panopo ndini mimbe myezi 9. Nyaya chimene chitika ini kuti ndikupita sukulu yoncho ndinangova anthu ndikutali kubwera mwamuna ndalama koma ndamazoti ankandiuzamu kuti ndamazalajya kale lozati nkotendene ndinakana paone kuti ndikupita sukulu kundikakamize paone kuti tidzithandizana munthu mwamuna azithandiza bebazi kuti paone ndinangovumira anakukwatira koma kuti pokwatira nkaona mavuto mmene anangova zoti kubweraje asachofeyo tita mabanja anangova yoncho kundisendera kuti nkunyamuka mapita.
And how much money did he give your grandmother to marry you?
15,000. Ndiyemenezo nkulire ngati tayenjalazo yalangola ndiyenda kweja wangu kugula chimanga nentafusa chimgamo ilange kuti ndiposa ningapoti ndamanalibe nasanangunduza kuti musandifuse ndingodya chimanga tiputipotepo kuti pafusa choncho langothi mwezi umodzi singili bwino yifika mafuta amene ndingaona nioriye anali wankulu niyo mwana nzimene mazonazo funa mangu ndingangola kutse pang'ono kundimenye kangola kutse pang'ono kundimenye basi nde simmakhala bwino nangonoso chomwezo mene ananyamuka mapiroko kuti ndikapanganiso ndithe kupita sukulu moyo wabanyisi okotera wana.
Child marriage has been illegal in Malawi since 2017, but there have been few prosecutions.
What's the point of having a beautiful constitution that protects, girls from child marriage if the girls who are the victims of this don't know about it? So we formed a network of mobile legal aid clinics, which means literally there's a van that goes out with lawyers and we go out in a community and say to girls, these are your rights, and if you need a lawyer for free to protect you, that's what we are here to provide.
This is actually the first time we've been able to reach this part of Malawi. We are focusing on child marriage because we know this is a big problem in this part of Malawi. We're going to try and meet with as many people as we can this afternoon, including in private sessions, but you can also call the Women Lawyers Association of Malawi anytime by just dialing 3081.
So the first thing was for Malawi to change its law so it did say the right thing on paper, which they did, and the rate has gone down since then, but not enough. So, giving people access to the courts, and this is what we do, is fight for girls' rights in the courtroom, that's going to be a big piece, but we're also not naive enough to think that that's the only piece.
Our main strategy is to use the law to make sure that child marriage is eliminated. Part of what we do is to organize mobile legal clinics and we go in rural communities. Like so remote communities far from our offices where there is little knowledge of what the law provides. So awareness is a crucial part of the work that we do. These girls, I've talked to many of them, they do have ambitions. It's not that they want to get married, they have ambition. They're like, oh, I see Madam so-so, she's a teacher, I would like to be like her. 1 year down the line, she's in marriage and she has a baby. The other problem of having laws and enforcing them is sometimes it drives the practice underground. Right. Now, when it goes underground, it becomes very difficult for one to actually know that it's happening and to do something about it. So that could be the major problem, that if the practice goes underground, then we'd have to come up with a different strategy now to deal with that, but it's possible.
Chiefs or village headmen are the local leadership in rural communities across Malawi. Their leadership is essential for any meaningful change to happen with cases of child marriage, such as Tamara.
Ntchito ya village headman ndi kuyang'anira kapena kutsogolera anthu mmudzi. Ndekuti uyu amene ali ndi zaka 18 kutsika pasi salovomerezeka kuti angalowe m'banja. Ndekuti olo ifeso mafumu maukwati amenewo sitimavomereza.
Why do you think there's such a high number of girls under the age of 18 getting married in Malawi?
Nsanga.
Chabwino. Zifukwazi sichingakhale chimodzi, zifukwazi zipo zingapo. 1, umphawi umene ukuchititsa kuti ana athu azichita zimenezo.
Is there an issue that you're facing when parents want their children to get married, their girls to get married, and you have to then intervene?
Ena makolo ena amatha kufika koma timawuza kuti ayi mwanayi nthawi yokwati wasinatani sinakwani, mwanayi ndi nthawi kuti apangeza chani za school. Makolo ena amatha kufika ndithu kuti ayi mwana wangayu ngwamkulu wakwana, timawuza kuti ayi katengeni khadi limene mumagwisa ntchito kusikelo tilione ngati mwanayi zaka zake zatani kodi zakwana, koma mwanayi ife timankana kuti ayi mwanayi ngwakusukulu.
Are there any marriages of girls that you know in this area of girls under 18?
Ayi.
Palibe.
Sitingathe kwatolera yawo chifukwa chonena kuti mudzi muli anthu ambiri monga nkhati muja tunene nambala ya anthu. Ifeyo wena timangodziona kuti awa ndi munthu omwe a George. Koma kuti tidziwe kwenikweni za mabanja kuti uyu ali ndi ana angapo mudzulu ije ni nyumba iliyonse sitingathe kutani kodi sitingathe kudziwa.
Koma akapezeka ndi amene ifeyo timathetsa maukwati amenewo, ndiye kuti mwachidule pano padakali panopo tilibe. Ngati alipo kapena akuchitika mwachisisi mokuti ifeyo sitikutani sitikudziwa.
But do you think child marriage is a problem?
Ndi futo ndithu.
Futo. Opsepserezera anawo kuti akwatiwe nkummanga khololo nkunsiya mwanayo ndikhulupirira unoti makolo ena sangatani akhoza kuchita mantha. Chifukwa ife tokha tikhoza kunyamuka kukamuletsa mwana uja, koma tidziwa kuti mmene tikuteno mu nkhondo ilijani pepaja makolo aja adana ndi ndani? Adana ndi ife. Sanadzatiuze koma ife tangoyithamangira nkhani ija chifukwa choti tayimva. Tikupulumutsa mwana wawo koma tiona ngati ifo ipe chifukwa iwo aja awafuna kuotani kotsono kodyera.
Hello, and welcome to yet another edition of Tijeze Atikana, a program that stands as a platform for us beautiful girls to discuss issues affecting us and encourage one another to focus on our goal. In today's topic,
Radio outreach is one approach across Malawi that aims to reach girls outside of the school network. I went along to listen to one weekly session being recorded.
I would like to know how many of us would like to get married someday, and why would you like to get married? Lucy.
Because most of the families we are coming from, parents are not able to take care of the children they have. For example, if a certain family has a girl and akusowekera mwina zinthu zina, the best solution imene amaona is to send that girl into a marriage so that they can get something from the man. Mostly young girls here in Malawi get married at a tender age and to someone who is much older than their age. So poverty is another reason why forced and early marriage happens here in Malawi, especially in our communities.
Remember, it's Tijeze Atikana, and you can send your comments, views, or questions on 08.
I wanted to speak with Lucy after the show to ask her how attitudes, especially with older males, have been moved by the show.
My father was saying, I can't spend my money, I can't waste my money for a girl to go to school, just because he was seeing other girls in the same community who their fathers worked tirelessly for them to go to school, but at the end of the day they ended up pregnant and getting married. Yeah, so he is totally different from my mom.
Are those some of the attitudes that your radio program is trying to challenge?
Yeah, I try to, because this is one reason why I created this group at my village. Most of the decisions or most of the ideas are run by men. So women have no voices in most of the Malawian communities, especially from the communities we are coming from. So this particular patriarchal system can also be challenged using these radio programs.
So you want to bring men onto the table as well?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We need to, hey man, come and hear what is being discussed here. What's your ideas? Okay, with this and this, we can make this. Things do work. Yeah.
The rates are coming down when real work gets done. It's really a social norm problem. The only way to change social norms is at the community level. You get the community thinking differently about the girls.
The radio show reaches 4 million listeners a week, many of whom meet at listening clubs each week for a new episode. Jane has set up one of these groups in her village.
Timakumana mbonga ngati Saturday loti makhatu kumana kukambirana zamene zachitika komanso mmene tingathandane zina zopena so tikumvera our radio. Nthawi zambiri timangodandaula kuti mwina sitingakwanise kwafikira anthu ena amene ali ndizo phinja m'makomo mwawo muchifanira kuti mwina makolo awo ndovuta ndipo ife tokha timatha pena kupita kumene kuja kukapeza kuti tathiridwako mawu ena osakhala bwino koma ife cholinga chathu chofuna kuti ena amangopa zona kuti mwina akhoza kumasekedwa kuti mwina anamulowesa mwana wawo mzunzo osakhala bwino ena amaopa zona kuti mwina ife titakhala kuti uja watuze zomwe zimachitikira tikhoza mwina kukasumira makolo ake ku polisi kuti mwina yonso sogolaso ukhoza osakhala bwino nde zambiri bezo mwa maopa kwambiri zimakhala zimene zonso.
Yolanda is headed to the first African Global Summit on Child Marriage that will be attended by Michelle Obama, Amal Clooney and Melinda French Gates.
This is the very first time where really global women are interacting with local actors. It's really the first of its kind right here in Africa. The best outcome would be really to support local actors, and also as local actors, it's giving us more energy to go back home and be able to refocus and put more energies to make sure that we are winning the battle in the next generation.
The world women leaders and men that are here, I would say that we are leaders in our own spaces. Whether at global, national, or local level, we can do something. We can change this. One of the districts in Malawi, almost 7,000 young girls got pregnant within the period of 6 months. Now think about these 7,000 plus girls are now mothers. And it's so heartbreaking. When all the international communities left the communities, we were there to support the young girls so that they access the education. Age Africa was there working in the community, directly touching the lives of girls, distributing learning materials and supplies, just to make sure that girls are protected.
The fight for real change is littered with obstacles for grassroots organisations like Yolanda's. And even with the support of big global interventions, cultural practices and poverty will be a big uphill battle to overcome.
If we just put ourselves in those girls' shoes and think of how would we feel if it were us or our daughters that were married off at the age of 12 or 10, any of us would be outraged at the thought. And if it were our children or grandchildren, we would move heaven and earth. So we can't pretend like we don't know. And that's why we're here, because we want to make sure that people are aware that this is an issue that's going on every single day.
In Malawi, 13-year-old Tamara has safely given birth, and her focus now is how to be a single mother to her baby boy.
tizicho kuti tinafike nangono pano.